Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shaki and today I'm going to be doing my September wrap up. So when I'm filming this, October is literally tomorrow. It will have just started for you when you're watching this, but I can't believe how fast September has gone personally for me. I really do feel like it has flown by. So I'm going to break my wrap up pile into two sections. We're going to have Reading with the Seasons and then post Reading with the Seasons. Reading with the Seasons is a 24-hour seasonal readathon that me and Waverley over at Waverley Reads host every single season. The next one is the winter round, which will be announced very, very soon. But this round was the autumn round, which happened originally on the 3rd of September. I participated on the 5th or the 7th, I can't quite remember, but it was the Friday afterwards because I was very ill and demotivated on the actual original date that everyone was participating. I do have 3 books that I managed to read in that, and then the rest of them are from post Reading with the Seasons. These are all of the books that I managed to get to in the month of September. So I managed to get to 7 books this month, if you count a put down on hold book that I did at the end of the month. Let's just get right into it. I do have Goodreads reviews of every single one of these books, apart from the first one, which is Legend. So I'll link them all down below as well as my overall Goodreads page if you want to go and follow me over there or be friends or whatever. So the first book, as I just mentioned, that I managed to get read in September, which is the first book in my Reading with the Seasons wrap up, is Legend. I'm holding it upside down. Is Legend by Marie Lu. Personally, for me, this was a 4-star read, and it's basically about Day and June, who are supposed to be enemies. Day is the prime suspect in June's brother's murder, and she's basically set the task to go and find him and to kill him. You can really see the tone of the dynamic all through the book. Marie Lu is really good at that. I think she's very good at binary oppositions where she puts them versus them. I remember thinking that this went way too fast with the romance. I also don't really understand why she was set the task to kill her brother's killer when she would have been emotional. I don't have a Goodreads review of it though. I know that I enjoyed it enough to give it a 4 stars. And that's basically about it for this one. The second book I managed to get read in the Reading with the Seasons readathon and September was Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. A girl called Maddie who is allergic to the entire world. Ollie is literally the boy next door, and he moves in and they start communicating through the window and through different things so that she doesn't have to see him. Naturally, he wonders eventually, why won't she come out of her house? And it's because she's allergic to everything. This story is just about them two and how he finds out that she's allergic to the entire world, how she starts to question it. This book, as I said in my Goodreads review, moved way too fast. I feel like one minute she couldn't leave the house, the next minute she's on the plane to Hawaii, and I also didn't really jive with the characters all that well. I do love Nicola Yoon's writing style, how she implements the universe into everything that she does. I read The Sun Is Also a Star before this, and this you can tell is her debut. It was quite disappointing compared to that one, but then again you can also see her improvement as an author and her progression. So I didn't enjoy this as much as I thought I was going to. I gave it a 3.75. You can read my Goodreads review to have more of a rounded picture of what I thought, but those are my summarised thoughts. The third book I read in Reading with the Seasons and the third book I read in September was Grace and Fury by Tracy Banghart. This is about 2 sisters, Serena and Nomi, and Serena is proper and she likes to think of herself as a Grace, and she's just really proper and what a woman should be like. Then we have Nomi, who's a little bit rebellious. She is the Fury. She's not your stereotypical ideal woman. This is set in a world where women don't have many rights and they are forced to fight each other and stuff like that. But I feel like in the end, you kind of see why, and you kind of see the messages that Tracy Banghart was trying to put across. It was really interesting to see how it was written and how the narration played into the story, because Serena and Nomi go on 2 different adventures, both physically and mentally, and their experiences are kind of mirrored, and I think that was a really good way of narrating this book. I thought I did it really good justice. The only reason why I didn't give it a 5 stars is because there was way too many characters and it was really dense. It was definitely not readathon material in the slightest, but those are the only 2 faults I really found with it. It does have a trope in it of she is her own hero, but I feel like it was needed in this one, and I really do feel like it was well done, and sometimes tropes and cliches are okay if they're done right, and this is an example of that. So now we're coming out of readathon territory, reading the seasons. By reading the seasons, I managed to read 3 books. I'll leave the vlog linked below. The 4th book I read in September was Extraordinary Means by Robin Schneider. It's all about Lane, who gets sent to Latham House, which is a boarding school for children or teens with tuberculosis. And he thinks that his life there is going to be so boring, he's going to be doing work, or he's going to be sick all the time. But when he meets Sadie and her troublesome troublemaker gang, he realises that if he can get in there, life at Latham House wouldn't be so bad. This was really cute, and it frustrated me because I knew for a fact that younger me a few years ago would have really enjoyed this book when I was on that kind of The Fault in Our Stars high. I would say for rep in this though, the dealing with grief and death of certain characters and family members is really well handled, and I feel like it is really well done and predicted the entire book because I just have way too much reading experience. This isn't a story that I've never heard before, and I knew exactly what was coming. 3.75 stars from me. The 5th book that I managed to get to in September was 3 Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. So this is set in a dystopian world where whenever there are triplets born all going for the same crown, obviously because they're all the heir to the throne, they have to battle each other and kill each other, and the one that's standing at the end becomes queen. They have these different powers and stuff like that, and the magic system in this book is amazing. You kind of like are backing and forth in between their different perspectives, and this book is just the first installment in that series. Now that I know that it's a series and this is just a taster for it, this is like getting the girls prepared, I feel like it could have been one book, which is why I gave it a 3.5. I absolutely loved Princesses Catherine and Erisno. I don't actually know how to pronounce her name, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it. I do want to read the next book just to see how these 2 queens flourish. That's the only reason why I want to read the next books, because I don't actually care. I just want to know who wins. Also, I'd like to place a content warning on this book for cheating, if that's a specific sensitive area topic for you, because the cheating in here goes under the radar, and when it does get noticed and brought up by the person who's hurt by it, things in the plot happen that are so dramatic that it can't actually unfold and she can't get her justice, which I found so annoying. This book was a bit of a love-hate relationship, and I do want to read the next one, but not right this second. The next book in my September wrap-up is City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. I have a huge smile on my face because I loved this book so much. I actually loved it so much that I bought my own copies. So I can't really say a lot about this book because it is the 3rd book in a series. It is the 3rd book in the Mortal Instruments series, obviously by Cassandra Clare. And although I can't really tell you what this story follows because it is spoilers for the other 2 books in the series, I can give you a rundown of what we've learned in the 1st book to give you an idea what this follows afterwards. So basically the Mortal Instruments follows Clary, who finds these shadow hunters at a party. She's introduced to the shadow hunters and learns that shadow hunters are all about killing demons and are supposed to help mortals kind of live their lives without demons, and they want to protect them. Valentine wants a whole different regime for the shadow hunters and wants to bring them down. He wants like a supreme race of shadow hunters who are pure and who he can use for his own advantage. So that's basically what this is following afterwards, and I love this book. It is by far my favourite. We see some really big character developments with Clary, we see some with Jace as well and their dynamic. We've also seen some with Simon as well. I did give it a 4.5 stars for the following reasons though. I'm kind of sick of the incest trope in things that I love between white characters. Not everything needs to be incest, and that's all I'm going to say on that point. One of the other things that I don't like about this book is how much of the story is explained to Clary through dialogue. When Clary is learning about her childhood and Jocelyn and just things about her past that she didn't necessarily realise, it's all told to her. The entire thing is told to her through dialogue, and I feel like that was really lazy, and I just wish there was like at least a flashback or just something, just not dialogue. I just feel like it was just a really like, oh, here's some information, have that, you know, in dialogue, I'll just make you say it to her, you know what I mean? I feel like it was very lazy, and I feel like that brought the rating down, but overall I loved this. And the last book that I managed to get read kind of in September is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. This one I have quite a sad story to go with because I feel like I could have loved this, but I didn't. This is basically about N, and she basically travels to the city of Sin to find her missing mother. All that she has with her for clues is that her mother gave her a letter to go and see Levi, which is the other character. Levi is in immense debt and he has to repay it, and the only way he can see himself repaying said debt is by helping N find her mother, because she has promised him a lot of vaults to help with her mother, and he just sees that as his only way out of getting out of debt. Although it is extremely interesting and the premise seemed good, I don't think the execution was great, and I've heard that a lot about Amanda Foody. Also, mucking, that really fucking mucking pissed me off. It's not my fault that I don't like a book. Maybe I'll go back to it. I have put a bookmark in it for page 235, which is just over halfway. I just couldn't see myself reading another 200 pages and just plodding along with a book that I don't like. So these are the 7 books that I did managed to get read this month. I would say my favourite by far was definitely City of Glass, and my least favourite was probably Ace of Shades. Thank you so much for watching my September wrap up. If you have read any of these books, please leave your reviews, Goodreads videos, just say what you thought of them down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to, please a massive thumbs up and subscribe. Next week I will post my October TBR and I'm fucking excited for that. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week for that. Bye!
You've got a face for a smile, you know, a shape